HeyImAmethyst here. For those who are returning, welcome back to another video on my channel. And for those who are new here, welcome. In this video, I wanted to share and talk about a new hyperfixation / interest that I had developed. If you can guess by the title of this video, I'm going to talk about the indie web. So yeah, I discovered that the indie web was a thing, like I think about like literally last year in December. Like I found out that that was a thing like last month, and I kind of looked into it and I was interested in, in seeing other people's websites and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of you feel this great annoyance and exhaustion from the current social media apps that we're using nowadays, and the blatant stupid decisions that these higher ups at these companies are making. Like I'm pretty sure y'all can feel, or it's pretty obvious that the decisions that these individuals controlling these social media apps are making decisions that benefit them and their shareholders and stuff like that, rather than the users that are using the platform. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that you've already heard this recently about, Twitter and the amount of AI discourse that's happening on Twitter. I recently found out that there's a way for people to edit images on Twitter and stuff like that, which is not great for artists. And then you have like the whole AI situation on there where people are generating some pretty disturbing and disgusting stuff using it, and Elon is not really doing anything about it. So yeah, I'm sure that I think that's the nail in the coffin for me. I'm not gonna use Twitter to post any images and stuff like that. I'll probably use it to like share stuff or links or retweet stuff, but I'm definitely not going to post my art on there anymore. Yeah, a lot of these social media apps nowadays, it's just nothing but chaos. And I've already mentioned this in like my 2025 video, but there's also the issue of like artists and people on these social media apps, at least nowadays, where they're just getting harassed and bullied for like no fucking reason. So yeah, I just felt like there's not really a lot of spaces for artists where they can just share their artwork without worrying about catering to the weird rules of the social media apps that make no sense, or having to deal with certain other restrictions that hurt their motivation and their ability to share their art with others and stuff like that. So I learned that the indie web was a thing, and that kind of like opened up a whole, I went down this whole rabbit hole, y'all. There was like a whole era that I missed out on, because like I was born in 2002, right? I was born in the early 2000s, right? The only experience I really had on the internet, when I was able to get on the internet, was Nick Jr. games, Nick games, all these like y8.com. Does everybody remember y8.com? I looked it up the other day. It seems like it was functional, but I'm not sure if it was the same y8.com that everybody remembers. Those type games. Y'all remember Pet Park, and everything like that. Disney Fairies. Like I was going on those sites for like the online worlds for like kids. And then when I got into YouTube, I was watching like Minecraft Let's Plays and stuff like that. But I never really experienced, these old, really aesthetic like these old like Windows XP or Windows 8. Like I never really experienced or paid attention to those designs. And then back then people were making their own websites, and it was all cool and fun. Like I was sleeping on this side of the internet, like for real. So when I heard that the indie web was a thing, And apparently there is like a whole movement trying to like capture what the internet used to be, you know, back in the day. I was like completely interested. So that got me thinking, well, people are making their own websites and they're kind of sharing themselves, you know, on their personal websites and stuff like that and customizing it in a way that reflects them. So I was like, why don't I do the same thing? You know, for a while now, I was kind of like hesitant to get into like web development and like learn HTML and CSS because like I don't know, it hasn't really interested me too much. I couldn't really like understand it. It seemed complicated, at least from the limited use times that I would like mess around with it. Because you know, when I was using DeviantArt, when I was on DeviantArt, like, you know, years ago, and I was posting frequently on there, like I would use like HTML to like customize my descriptions, you know. And back before DeviantArt rolled out this stupid Eclipse interface, you know, in like artists on the site who had the core would use HTML and CSS to customize their pages and their boxes and stuff like that, their journals and whatnot. So I had experience, like limited experience in that, right? But that was pretty much it. I didn't really understand CSS. I didn't really mess with the CSS codes when I had core for a limited time when I would be gifted it. So I would just copy paste the code and that would be it. I didn't really do much customizing. And then kind of like fast forward, you know, Twitch and Stream Elements and Streamlabs, there were I saw that you can like customize, make like custom chat widgets, right? At that time I still didn't really understand you know, HTML and CSS. It was kind of, I was kind of like brute forcing it pretty much. I was pretty, you know, just kind of like looking at templates and other people's code and kind of like hodgepodging it and making my own edits. But I still didn't really understand HTML, you know, at least the basics. Like I was like using Google a lot. I mean, I still am, but you know. And then now comes this discovery of the indie web, and I've just had this interest to like make my website from scratch using HTML and CSS, and I hyperfixated for like 2 days 2 days straight on, you know, learning HTML and like making my own website and stuff like that. But I had to take a break because, you know, I wanted to spend the time, you know, celebrating the end of the year and not, you know, hyperfixating on one thing. But, you know, now that small break is over and I finished doing what I needed to do, at least for now, until I can learn more of what I needed to do for my own website. But yeah, there's like this, people are creating websites for like their art galleries, for like their special interests, their shrines, there's red ribbons, there's so much stuff. So yeah, I discovered that there was NeoCities, which is kind of like a modern version of like GeoCities, which is like, you know, like website hosting like services and stuff like that. And yeah, like I only know of NeoCities. I don't know of the other websites. Like I've linked to like in my own personal website, I've linked to other people who have their own websites but aren't hosted through NeoCities. But I have to like really look into it so that I know like where, like the types of places that people are hosting their own websites and stuff. So yeah, so before I show you what I did for my website, I thought I would show you some of the websites that I found that I think are worth checking out. And if you're interested, if you have your own website, you can leave it in the comments and I can like either share it in another video or link it on my own website and stuff like that. So yeah, here is like the first website I found. This website is hosted on NeoCities. Like I kind of found it like while browsing around, and I should like give a warning for like all the disabled people who aren't able to like look at GIFs. I greatly apologize. There's going to be a lot of GIF moving. There was a button in one of the pages on here that allowed you to turn off like the GIFs and stuff like that, but there doesn't seem to be one here, so I deeply apologize. This video is going to have a lot of moving GIFs and moving parts, so if you're sensitive to that, I'll probably just like warning just be and stuff like that. So yeah, this is like one website, and I really like the art that this person oh, the pronouns are right here. I really like the art that she put on her website. I think it's like really pretty. This is like, and the layout too, like it's super duper pretty. There's like the about section. Oh, this is so cute. Oh, there's more buttons. I will copy that and see if I can use that on mine. That's really, I like these buttons. But oh, this is like places to find me. Whoa. They have a Ko-Fi, they have a card. Ooh, they have an itch. An itch.io. So pretty. Ooh, and these are like their favorite games. Wow. They have Hades, Pokemon, Stardew Valley, yes, and Undertale. And these are characters, favorite characters. Oh, I saw that, Zagreus. Media. I guess like favorite shows and stuff like that. I've seen like talk of this anime, but I haven't watched it. Oh yes, Transformers Prime. I think this one's my favorite version. Well, actually no, it's tied between Transformers Animated and Transformers Prime. I think those are like the top ones. But yeah, these are pretty nice. And then they have oh, this is cute, man. Cause I've been struggling to find stamps for my own websites, and it's like people just know where to like go for these things, right? Because when I was looking for tutorials and stuff like that, right, everybody was saying, oh, this is how you do the HTML and the CSS, but nobody like they don't link where the resources, like give me the long lists of all the buttons and stamps that I can spread around on my website. I'll keep this tab in mind. I did link like lists of like buttons that people can use on my website, because I was struggling until I was able to find like a couple. But yeah, so that's this website. I won't share all of this stuff on here because I want to give people a reason to come here and discover things for themselves. So that's just this website by Aid. I think that's how, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but yeah. This is another website that I found. Again, there's like moving in images and stuff like that. There is no button to turn off the GIFs. I mean, I personally don't mind the GIFs, but I know that there are some people who can't really, that isn't able to like process the information on the site if there's like too many moving parts. And I know some people have epilepsy. I don't know if GIFs cause that to trigger. But I really hope that more people who are making these websites do put in that option to at least give a little bit more accessibility, because I know like with some of these websites that I would see, there's like so much moving parts, even I can't really process what's going on. So I try not to put too many moving parts on my website because I preferred that because it's easier that way. But I know that I still wanted to add that button on mine, but it is what it is. This is like, oh, I didn't realize that you could drag these. Can you drag? Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. that's neat. All right, and there's like an interest list. Ooh. Oh, the arts. Oh, I didn't. Fungi? Oh, these look to like web pages or wikis. Studio Ghibli. Wait, does this all link to like Wikipedia? Oh, this one doesn't have links yet. Oh, the ones that aren't done. Okay. Neat. Alright, and then time lapses? Oh, and then they link it. That's nice. That's cool. I was just born. That's cool. Oh, I like this one. This one's pretty. Oh, wait. Oh, that's pretty. And then they have a gallery. Ooh, that's pretty. That's cool. Because, like, I was trying to figure out how to do a gallery for, like, my website. But I'm not exactly sure how I want to do it. I did find, like, a project. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, there is a project by 𝗃𝗄𝗆. They created a program called NeoGallery. It's like supposed to be like a gallery management solution for NeoCities, and I really liked the way that this was developed, because what I really liked about DeviantArt, you know, if I can like show you my page really quick. Oh yeah, it's my birthday week. Yeah, my birthday January 11th. That's like pretty soon. It's unfortunate. It's on a Sunday, and I'm working on Sunday, which sucks. But I'm not taking off. It's fine. I'm not taking off. But so this was like the DeviantArt page, you know, that I had. You know, as you see, DeviantArt's promoting AI art and everything like that. Like I kind of like stopped posting on here, not really because of the AI art, but really because of just like motivation to draw. And I kind of just stopped completely once I've heard. Then I decided to just stop posting on there because of like the issues with AI and everything. But what I really liked about DeviantArt was, you know, the galleries. You had the ability to really like post your art, post descriptions and stuff like that. And not only that, but you can like organize them into these folders. And so what I really liked about, you know, Neo Gallery was the fact that it kind of had this ability to, you know, put your descriptions, put tags on your pictures so that you can really organize them, similar to the way that DeviantArt does. And as I was talking about, this is like, you know, the customization and stuff like that. It wasn't like, this was just like the remnants of the customization after they rolled the Eclipse interface. You know, nobody on the site liked the Eclipse interface, you know. Everybody was protesting against it. But of course, you know, the people at the top weren't going to listen to the users, and they just pushed it. But, you know, with DeviantArt, I think it's really, DeviantArt could be a good resource for like finding, you know, certain images to post on your website as well. So cuz like when I was like interested in like, you know, customizing my profile, there was like, you know, if I can find it. Okay, yeah, so these were like, you know, the custom pages that people were developing, you know, before the new interface rolled around. So yeah, it was pretty nice. It was pretty amazing. Yeah, this was like the decorations folder that I was trying to find. So these were like these little decorations that people could potentially use to customize their profile. And I used some of these on my profile. I would, you know, make a folder for these and like them and put them so that I could use them for later. And I'm super glad that these were still up. But, you know, like with other people would say in their other tutorials, It's best that you download these and host them either on NeoCities or on your own like file file saving service, just in the event that, you know, something happens and the site goes down or the account goes down and everything disappears with it. I use a program called 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀. I believe it just gives you unlimited space. There doesn't seem to be a max like storage limit, so I think just as long as your, you know, uploads aren't like super big, like the limit is 200 megabytes per file, but I think you can have unlimited, you know, file managing files for this. But moving on back to for Neo Gallery, right? You know, digressing a lot here. I kind of went off on a distraction, but this, you know, what I liked about this is like it's kind of similar to DeviantArt with the galleries and stuff like that. However, I kind of had questions about it. It seemed like it uploads the images to Neo Galleries, and if you're fine with using the Neo Galleries like storage, that's fine. But if you have like a site that's like image heavy and stuff like that, you may run into an issue where you run out of space pretty quickly. I think the base accounts have like 100 gigabytes. So if you're not paying for it, you would only have like a gigabyte max. And at least currently for me, the amount of drawings that I've made that I've uploaded, they don't reach up to 100 gigabytes. But I'd rather have my stuff be uploaded to 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀 rather than NeoCities. And so I posted my question like in the issues because the comments on the video demonstrations were paused. So I asked my question on there to see if it's possible to have have an option or a version of it that uploads to 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃 instead of NeoCities, and stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't gotten a reply yet. Hopefully, I'm able to have a reply. If not, I could probably see if I can make my own version just to use for personal use. But that depends on how well if I'm able to do it, because it uses Python, and I haven't used Python in a hot minute, and I prefer not to use Python. I'm more of a C# Java type person. You know, I'm more confident in coding in those programs. But if push comes to shove, I'll try using Python for my website. But yeah, I could use like that option for my galleries, but I've seen people just it seems like they're making their own galleries like from scratch, like they're not using templates, or at least not to my knowledge. So I'm kind of curious on how they're able to make their own galleries, because the issue that I've noticed, well, not an issue, but a thing that what I noticed when using like certain when looking at the gallery templates that I was able to find, it seems like I would have to generate thumbnails and then load the real image once it's being clicked on. So it seems like I would have to generate two versions of each image, you know, a smaller version for the thumbnail and then the actual image, which I'm not really sure how I would be able to do that. Either I would have to do that manually, which is going to be tedious as hell, or I'd have to try and find like an automatic solution. But then there comes the issue with how do I kind of make it to a way that's similar to DeviantArt, where I can put my own descriptions and then kind of organize them into my own folders or collections. It seems like that's a lot more code. It seems like that's going to be like a whole coding project. So the gallery section on my website is currently just not finished, but you know, it's pretty nice seeing what people are able to do for their galleries. It's like really pretty. But that's all I'm going to show for this website. And here's the next website that I found. Again, there's gonna be a lot of moving gifs on these websites, so I apologize for all the people who can't look at the screen due to all of the moving parts. But yeah, this is like another website that I found, and it's really cute. I really like the graphics on this one. Oh, I just realized the background. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Aw. So yeah, this is these are like the web wings. Oh, they have resources here. Hero website. Okay, so those are the. What are the scrapbook? Sorry, scrapbook. I like to collect stuff from around the web. Things like stamps, user boxes, quiz results, some graphics, like images, but only images. Press the. Oh, okay, so yeah, okay, so these have like, at least on this page, there's like a play and a pause button. Or at least that's nice. That's nice. Oh, look at these. These are nice. So I'm not gonna press the button. But I'll go back. Oh, they have an art gallery. Let's look at their art. Ooh. Oh, I like the way that they did theirs. Ooh, that's nice. This is like another way that people can do their galleries. That's pretty nice. This is the library. The library of my favorite webtoons. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. So that's this website. Yeah, I really like the art. I like the layout and everything. I like the color scheme too. This is another website that I found. I really liked the layout on this one. And I also really liked the fact that I noticed when I was testing out my own time that like it seems like it's mobile friendly, which is really nice. I tried making my site mobile friendly. I don't think it's perfect, but I was able to get it working by following a tutorial, and I will show you guys how to get it working, but it does only work with a specific feature of CSS, but I will show you when I get to it. Ooh, that's really nice. So this one, let's see, the About Me. I need this website because I wanted somewhere to share my art and my original characters without the hassle of posting to social media. I still use social media to some extent, but I'm not much of a poster. Yeah. I am autistic. Yay, autistic gay. Maybe a lot of people say that these days, maybe even untruthfully, but it's definitely a thing that's noticeable about me, I come to realize. Media interest. Ooh, Animal Crossing series. Yes, Animal Crossing fan. 𝗂𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗀. Minecraft, I'm Not Humane, the Pokemon series. Undertale Deltarune. Music. It's a bit hard to read this font, I'm not gonna lie. So, Studio Ghibli. Cartoons. My Little Pony. Ooh, anything else? Yeah, this is really nice. Just like some comfy textures, a lot of crowded spaces, yeah. Drawing, character creation, cute things, color pink, as we can tell. I really like this layout. I really like this layout. Where are people finding these buttons? This is so cute. Vocaloid, Amigu fan, yes. I shall save these if I can. Yes, I will save these. Where are people finding these? Where are people finding these? I need to know. Anyway, so we'll go back here. Yes, out gallery. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Oh, that's nice. That is amazing. That's amazing. Aww. I like the way that she did her gallery. That's really pretty. Ooh. Notifications. Ooh. Okay, blinkies. Okay, I'm going to proceed with caution with these because yep, there might be some moving. Oh, so this one has like the buttons here. That's nice. It seems like they only have the buttons when they have like a whole bunch of stamps together. Oh, these are the stamps that I was looking for earlier. Okay. I was trying to look for a whole bunch of Miku stamps and Vocaloid stamps, and I couldn't figure out where to find these, but oh well, seems like I found it. And then there's the blinkies. But yeah, so these should link back to the original sources. So there's that one. There's user bars. Ooh. User boxes. I'm kind of, because I'm still learning about like the indie web. What do they use the user bar and the user boxes for? I'm kind of curious. Do they kind of just put them as images on their website, or is there like a specific use case for them? I think they're really pretty though. And then these are the buttons. Ooh. There's more of the Miku buttons. I wonder where they find these. But yeah, it seems like that's all that I'm gonna explore on this website for this video. I encourage you guys to go and look at these websites and explore, and if they have like a guest box, like shoot them a message, say hi, and stuff like that. Okay, so this one I think it's a bit of an adult website, so this is a lot of flashing. I have it linked here because like I have it linked on my site because I thought it was pretty cool, but since I'm showing this on a YouTube video, I do not think I'm going to show this website on my video, just in case YouTube wants to be annoying. So if you're an adult and you don't mind entering these types of websites, you know, just you can come at your own risk. But I have this here. It's linked on my website because like I looked at it and I thought the layout was pretty nice. I don't remember this being here though, so maybe this is new. But yeah, so this website, I think this was new because I saw this website in a video, which I'll show on screen and link in the description below. But the layouts, I don't know if this is like an entirely new website or if this is the same website, but the layout changed. But I really like the way that this person customized their websites. Like, I really like all the images and the way that they place them, and the overlap too. It's like really amazing. So there's like a quiz. There's like a quiz that I took, and I'll show you what I got because I placed the image on my own website. But I really like the way that this looks. It's so pretty. This is so pretty. I love their art. Oh, and then there's their buttons. Oh, that's pretty nice. I really like their art. And on site, I don't know. Ooh, artwork. Man, I'm always flocking to the galleries. Ooh, that's pretty. That's nice. I don't know if that. Ooh, oh, I like I like their line art and their shading. That's really nice. And then they have text that they made and other things. That's really nice. And oh, they have templates. I don't know what. Yeah. So some of these sites have resources that you could use. I'm not. My hoarding addiction of cute graphics. Oh, that's pretty nice. So they have buttons. Oh, they don't have a button to turn these off, or at least not that I can see. Sorry to everybody watching. This is cute. This is cute though. I'm gonna go back. But that's really nice. Now this one I also saw in the same video. And I thought I'd share it in mine because it's super cool. So this one, so if I don't know, if I go to the mobile section, I think this is just for, oh, they're probably not done. They're probably not done. Unless, is it not? Ooh, yeah, so this is like the version for the mobile site, but I'm going to go towards the desktop site. I'm sharing this because of how good the animations and the interactions that you can do on this site. Like they have like a little desktop pet, but it's not like a real desktop pet. It's like because it's like a desktop. The website is like built like a computer desktop, which is really cool. Like you can move things around, you can like enlarge. I don't know if you can enlarge it, but oh well, I don't know how to get that back. I don't think. Oh, and you can like, it's like an actual like, it's like a desktop and a web, like Windows. It's like a Windows desktop. That's really cool. This is why I wanted to show it off, because the way that you can like everything like interacts with each other. And you can move it inside, like like I can't do this. This is so pretty. And they're a game dev student who enjoys playing games and reading stuff, which is nice. This is so pretty. Like everything is so pretty. You can't move the web player though. And there's a chat box. There's the guest book. Oh, that's pretty. I have yet to post my comments on these sites yet, because I was focusing on making my own, but just like everything about this site is like super amazing. Oh, I like the palette on this one. Oh, are they not? Oh, they are. Oh, that's pretty. That's nice. That's so cool. Yeah, so that and then they have shrines. I'm not gonna explore too much because I want to give people a chance to explore it for themselves, but like this is a cool website. Like I like the way that they decided to go about making theirs. And then this one was the last one that I saw in that video, and this is kind of like, from what I saw, like it seems like it was kind of like a role-playing kind of like site. And when I was like looking at it, it like reminded me of like Neopets, you know? So like because there's like things that you can do on Neopets where you can like follow quest lines, you can do things and everything. Like I'll probably have a video like yapping about Neopets soon, because I want to yap about Neopets at some point. But it's like, I really love this site, and it's like and it has like this purple, whimsical, magical aesthetic that I absolutely love, and it's so pretty. Like all of it's so pretty. So there's like I always gravitate toward the gallery. I always gravitate towards it. Oh, this is I like this is cute. Unless I know I'm just like clicking around and not reading stuff, but I love their art style. But this was in 2021. What about 2024? Oh, this is pretty. I really like their art style. I like their line work a lot. So this is like the role-playing part. So like outside the village, you find a path to the train stop to take you to the 𝗟𝗏𝗃 Academy for Witches and Mages. The train comes promptly, and up the mountain you go to the 𝗂𝗏𝗃𝗀 School. So yeah, I really like the way that this person did their website. All sorts of books. Like this is reminding me of Neopets. This is like this is screaming Neopets. I know it's not Neopets, but that's the thing that pops up when I think about this type of like roleplay on the website. It's like, ooh, what does this take me to? Oh, I didn't know, not what the ooh, this is nice. Oh, but oh, so this is like a book. Oh, I see. I thought it was like an article. That's cool. So it links you to books. And then the Book of Wizard Magic. Goodreads. That's amazing. Okay. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Ooh. Yeah. So yeah, I know I'm like not interacting with all the little things in this website, but there's like so much that you can like look around. I'll have these website links on my website too. As I find more websites, I'll put them on my website too. But yeah, this is like really pretty. This is like really pretty. I like the creative stuff that people do on their own websites. But yeah, now that I've kind of showed you some websites that I found, I will now show you my own website. Are you ready? Da 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 da! Yay! This is what my website looks like. And oh no, the stuff that I did for the scroll bars aren't working. But yeah, this is my website. This is what I was able to do on it. So yeah, I've had made a website before, but it was using the Wix website. Actually, I think I could probably like I could probably like pull it up. But yeah, this was the site that I made using Wix.com, and you know, I kind of made it. It's like old, like I didn't really understand how to like lay out a website, plus I was just using Wix's like default website editor. Like you're kind of limited on what you can do when you're using like stuff like that. But like if you know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can do a lot more than just this simple layout. Because I mean, originally when I made this, I just wanted it to be a landing page to link all of my socials on, but now I have this, so I don't have a need for this anymore. So yeah, there's stuff that's probably broken. Like I'm sure there's like a couple of stuff that's broken in a couple places. There's one thing I'm not sure of. Like I added these two buttons to play and stop the GIFs, but I'm not really sure if this trail might be bothering some people. If it is, like let me know, and I'll see if maybe I can like add a button to really turn that off if you don't want it moving around while you're while you're on the website and stuff like that. But yeah, so this was the website that I have. This was like the about page. I have like all of my buttons down here. I have like all the GIFs turned off, like it kind of like turned off by default. So I'm not sure if that was like the program itself or maybe I broke something, but the GIFs are off. So yeah, so this was like a link to all of my socials. I put my Pinterest here in case like people have Pinterest and they want to look at my boards. Like I have that here, and then I have my other ones. I didn't link my Tumblr. I'm not really sure if I should link my Tumblr, because I was thinking about adding a blog to my website, so that I would have, you know, so that it's easier, like I wouldn't have to worry about Tumblr's weird rules, because I've heard like over the years that users have had issues with Tumblr and there are certain restrictions and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure if I want to add blog here, or maybe I should just not have a blog at all. But this is the home page. I really liked how it turned out. And then we can go to the about section, and oh well, this one's kind of working. I don't know if it's because of Firefox, that's why the things aren't working, because originally this is supposed to be the same color as that, and this one's supposed to be rounded and not have like these little things on here, but something's not working. So yeah, I don't know if it's Firefox, I don't know if it's something else, but yeah, I wanted to have these like headers be like a different font, because there's like a font called Starborn and it made the font like really like star and space looking, but I was kind of worried about people being able to like understand and read it, so I kind of just went for the more accessible fonts. I'm not really sure about these fonts that I have like effects on. If you're not able to like read these, like let me know and I'll change it. But yeah, this is like my about page. It's not really I'm technically not done with this. I'm sure I can really like organize like my about page a bit better. And I've had like inspiration to add like separate pages for like my special, like a list of like the special like games, like the special interests that I like the games that I like, the shows that I like, books that I like, etc, etc. But this is, I'll add that later. But this is the gallery. It's not done. I'm not really sure how to go about the gallery, because like I said before, I kind of want something similar to what Neo Gallery does, which is like similar to DeviantArt, and I kind of want to be able to like do something with that. I wanted to like keep these tabs here because like I followed a tutorial on how to get these tabs working, and I really like these tabs. I think they're really pretty, but I don't know if there's an easy way for me to kind of have the gallery that I've seen some other people do on their websites, but I don't know how to do that. I haven't learned that yet. So my gallery is broken, so you guys won't be able to see like my artwork on my site just yet, but I do have my other social medias here, and I do have my art posted on those. So if you want to look at my art, my DeviantArt's right there. I have some art on my Instagram and my Twitter. But yeah, and then I have a separate page just dedicated to my Neopets. There we go. I was scared for a second. I wasn't sure if it was broken. But yeah, so this is just a page that showcases my account. I had my Neopets account since like the Pet Park days. Like this account is really old. Like one Pet Park shut down. I switched over to Neopets. I logged into Neopets like a few times when Pet Pet Park was still, you know, open, but I back then, you know, I didn't know that Jelly Neo existed. I'm not even sure if Jelly Neo was existed when, you know, during the early days of Pet Pet Park, you know. But I didn't know that there was tutorials and stuff like that. I couldn't really understand like how to move around the site and all the stuff that you can do on the site and everything. So I was more interested in Pet Pet Park, so I just kept playing that. And apparently there was like a whole lot of lore that I missed. Like, y'all, did you know that Fairyland fell? I was so confused. I was so confused when I heard that Fairyland fell. Like, there was lore that I was missing out on, but I will save that for my app session on Neopets another time. But oh my gosh. So this is like my user lookup page. I learned that you could also customize your user lookup page using, I don't know if it's both HTML and CSS, but I've seen other people's Neopets pages and they look pretty nice. So I figured that if I get better at HTML and CSS, you can really use it for like other things. Like I said earlier with the stream elements and the Streamlabs chat box, like the custom chat boxes, and you could use HTML and CSS to like customize those, and you can use that if you have a Neopets account and you have experience in HTML and CSS. You can customize your user lookup page to make it look however you want. So yeah, so I pretty much had this account for, I think it says 12.5 years. I think at another point it said I had this account for 13 years. I had this account for a pretty long time. And you can tell I had this account for a pretty long time because I had a stupid ass username. But yeah, that's pretty much my user account. So I have like, this is my main, let me go back to it. This is my main my active pet for right now. You can also tell that this account is old because I had some pretty questionable naming ideas. But my active one is like Jamaica. She's Nakara. And then I have April, and then I just spammed letters into the naming, so I kind of, her nickname is M, and then I have Mississippi, you know, after one of my OCs that I renamed to Tez. And yeah, that's pretty much like my 4 pets right now. I could get another pet, but I'm not really keen on getting another pet just yet because I want to learn more about the site and what I'm supposed to be doing before like I adopt more pets. So these are the 4 pets that I've had since the beginning. So yeah, so that's like my Neopets page. If I don't know if I'll add more of it to it. I think that's as much as I'll add to it because it's just me showcasing off my pets, not my pets. But moving on to my guest box, I found a tutorial on how to make one. So the guest box is like linked there. So this is what my guest box looks like. So feel free to like leave me messages and stuff like that, but you know, as the warning says, don't be an asshole, don't be rude. So yeah, so that's the guest box, and then this is the page where I linked the cool websites. So these are all the websites that I have, and once I find more websites, I'll put them here as well. If you are interested in sharing your cool websites that you have, feel free to like put it in the comments and I'll look through it and I'll either show it in another video or put it up here. But yeah, And these are the resources that I used. So these are all the tutorials and the links and the resources that I used to make my website. So if you need any help, they are right here, and these are like the list of buttons that I linked because yeah, I want to like I keep right clicking to open a new tag, but I had like code there to like prevent people from just copy pasting my code. But yeah, it might be an issue if people want to save my buttons though. I do have like, for like my buttons, I do have it like linked to like the sites where I got them from. So as you see, I got some of these, I got like these 2 buttons from this website and stuff like that. I did make a custom button here that I made using like one of the resources that I linked here. So I probably might disable the right clicking because it might be annoying for people who want to save my buttons, but I'll see. If you guys prefer to just have it off, I'll keep it off. But yeah, these are like all the resources that I have on that. And then I have like a little moon widget because I like the moon, I like space and everything like that. And it's nice for me to like have this here because when I want to I think it's like useful to have this here because it's good to know what the phase of moon is while I'm on, so that I can know when I'm ready to do like lunar magic, because as you guys all know, I am a witch. So when I'm ready to do my lunar magic and I need to know what specific phase of moon it is, I want to be able to know. So I do have apps, but it's like they've made it kind of hard to see what the moon phase is. Like it was easier before, but then they had an update and now it's like a lot more difficult to see what the moon phase is. So I'm like, I can't be bothered, so I got it from this website. I'm not really sure if it shows like a calendar for what the moon phase will look like the next day or like a couple of days. Actually, oh, they do have it. Okay, so they do have it. What does it look like? Okay, they do. All right, that's neat. So if I wanted a quick look to see what the moon calendar will be, well, the moon will look like a couple of days, it seems like there's like an easy way to get that done, which is nice. And also if you want like a moon calendar for a website, it seems like they have like a way. Seems like if you want something made for your website too, I guess you can contact them, which is pretty nice. I think that's cool. So that's useful. And then here are all of my buttons that I have that I linked. I got this image from a quiz on Neopets. So I got the dark fairy. I think it's fitting. But, and also for the rice quiz that I did for the rice website, I got white rice. Basic white rice, and I think it's fitting because I was taught how to make rice the traditional way, you know. I mean, I guess, you know, you get the rice in the bag, you put it in the pot, you broth it until it's clear, all right, and then you kind of like just fill it up until it like kind of covers rice, depending on what pot you use. If your pot like produces more water while it's cooking, you might need to add like less water, but depending on the pot, you might have to add more or less rice, and then you just cook the rice. I don't use a rice cooker or anything like that. I use a pot. I use a pot and I put it on the stove and I let it cook. That's how I was taught. So that's how I cooked the rice, and I got right rice. I wonder if it's possible to get jasmine rice, because we don't use white rice, we use the Goya jasmine rice. I think it tastes better. I think it tastes better than the regular rices, than the other rices. I don't know. We tried a different brand of rice before, and I didn't really like it. I didn't really like the texture of it, so I went back to like the Goya rice. It's a bit more expensive than the store brand rice, but it tastes better. You know, I like the texture more. It doesn't make me want to tear my hair out. So I think that's just an autism problem for me. But you know, I stick with the Goya rice because it's better. It's better for me. So yeah. Now I'll add more to this website as the years go, like as time goes on. Oh, you know what, I forgot to show you what the website looks like when it's on mobile. So yeah, it's kind of like, you know, the thing is kind of like botched. I know it's kind of in a weird position, but yeah, this is how I was able to get it looking when it's on mobile. So I will show you how I was able to get it working for mobile. So I'll just go over here, and the tutorial that I used, I probably might take that script off because it's bothering me. So yeah, I used this tutorial on how to get my layout working the way that I want it to, because they use like a Pinterest image as a guide, and what they use is that they use like a CSS property, like known as the grid layout. I know I did, for those of you who are wondering, no, I did not code this in the NeoCities editor. I used a different program called Phoenix Code, and I was trying to get the code to, like, the program to show up on OBS, but it wasn't showing up properly. So unfortunately, I have to show my code through the NeoCities code editor. And why is that? There we go. So this is how I was able to get format my website. So in the tutorial, what the person used was, if I could find it here, the footer. So they use like the display grid, and then they kind of like used grid row and grid column to position the elements instead of using like the position elements. You can develop your website using like absolute position. Like there's other tutorials that I linked that use that. However, for me, I decided to use the grid because I wanted to make it easier for me to format the website for mobile users. So in the tutorial, they used this, and you can still use this, because I used this for like the footer text down here, because it wasn't like, it was like, the text was like sticking up towards the top, and not towards the middle. So I still had to use, like display grid for the footer, and then use this to like put it in the middle row. I had to section the grid so that there would be a middle row and a middle column so that it would stay in the middle. But if you are, and it's useful if you have like a div, or like a section that you want to put the grid in, but you don't have a lot of elements and you just want to position something in the middle. That might be a good way to like center your elements. But what I mainly used was grid like grid areas, grid areas. So I kind of used like another tutorial. If I can go down here. So yeah, I use I'm gonna take this thing off. I need my right click to open a new tab. But so I used this tutorial by Angela Design, and what they showed in the tutorial was using grid template areas. And this is an easier way of visualizing the grid instead of using the grid edges in order to position it, because you know, it was easier for me to visualize where I wanted my elements to go. So as you can see, I had like the grid template areas, and I kind of just had the header span 3 columns, and the nav bar on the left, the main on the right, and the main in the middle, and the socials on the right. And then I have the GIF manager, which is those buttons, and then the main would still be in the middle, and then the socials would be there and stuff like that. So this is how I kind of like positioned my website. I had socials like span a couple rows, and I did this so that the socials would be in the right spot. So that's kind of what I had to do. I'm not really sure if there is a way to have parts of the grid empty, like kind of just have this like blank and not put anything in there, but I think that kind of what messed up things. I don't know, I still have to do some testing and experiments. I really don't know where to position certain things, but I use the grid template rows, the grid template areas for that, and I use the template columns. I think this was shown in the original tutorial on how to like determine how big you want the columns are, and then this also determines how big you want your rows are. I have these like repeated 4 times because this kind of controls each of the rows. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. This is the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth row. So you can kind of change this to any size that you want. I have it on auto for now until I need to change it to like a pixel measurement or a fraction measurement or something like that. And then once you have like this visually constructed, then you have to assign the names to the elements that you need positioned. So the header, I would go to the header and you would put grid area header, and then for your nav you would put nav bar, you would put grid area nav bar, and then you would keep doing that for your elements that you want positions. So you have to make sure that you give the right name to the right element. So once you have all of that positioned and ready to go and everything like that, you then can use media queries in order to change the grid. So I'm sure you can still use this by using the grid edges method. However, I found it easier to do it using the template areas, because since you've already assigned the grid areas to your grid, to your like elements, all you would have to do is change how the grid looks, and you wouldn't have to go in this media query and put in different values for the grid row and grid column for each of the elements. So yeah, this is the code that I used in order to have it so that if it's on mobile, it's just one column and then everything's on top of each other. So everything is like on its own row and everything. So yeah, this is the code for that. If you want to pause and copy that, you can. This one was for like something different, because I think some things were misaligned when I was doing the media query, so I had to like do something with that. But this is the main part that you would need. So you would need to this is how you would like structure it for that, so everything kind of like in one column. And then for the rows, I had repeats 7 times with this, value, because this is kind of like a shortcut so that you don't have to write this value like 7 times. And I would see this you being used in like the other tutorials on grids on how to get like a responsive layout. However, they show you how they use it, but it only worked for grids that had like equal sized like elements all throughout. So like you would have squares in a grid and it would automatically add or delete columns. And it would work for that grid, but if you had like a custom grid like mine, it wouldn't work. So this is how I was able to get it working. And like I said, you don't have to use one over the other. I use both for certain situations. Like again, with the footer text, I had to use the grid row and grid column to center the text, because the text wasn't centering the way that I wanted it. And it was also useful because while I was switching everything over to like the grid areas, if I can find it, main, welcome title, welcome text, I ended up using this. So I ended up keeping this line of code because it gave like this interesting overlap effect. So I ended up keeping the grid row and grid column text for that one because like I like the way that it overlaps the button. Now I'm not sure if that's the proper way of getting images to overlap like this. I don't know if it's the more efficient way of doing it, but this kind of happened accidentally, so I kind of kept it. And then I did the same thing for the header image and the header title. So for the header image, I gave like a grid area for the header image, and in the header I kind of like did the column for that one, so it's just like one row. But then on the title I kind of kept the grid row and grid column like edges, so that it will kind of like do the centering in the way that I want, because I was having trouble with getting these to center as well, and also to have it like overlap the way I wanted it to. Now I'm not sure if it would have been better to just give this the grid area of header image. However, I haven't tested that out yet, so I just have it there for now. And yeah, I was able to get those overlap the way I wanted, and yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. Yeah, that's pretty much my website for right now, and that's how like I was able to get it to work on mobile. There, like I said, in the welcome text here, there may be stuff that's still broken. There may be stuff that may not be centered correctly. I'm still learning how to develop websites. I'm still learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you have any tips or any resources that you'd like to share, please let me know. You can put it in the description, you can put it in the comments below, or you can let me know through the guest box. But yeah, that's pretty much all of my hyperfixation for right now. That's enough of me yapping. I will link the website in the description below. It's live on GeoCities and everything, so I'll put the link in that description, and then I'll also update the links on my Twitter and everywhere else that have the website on there. And I'll just update it to this new one because, it's better than this generic ass Wix website that I made. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed me yapping about the indie web and stuff like that. As I said earlier, if you have any websites that you'd like to share that you've made, or other people's websites that you think is cool, please let me know. You can do that through the guest box or in the comment section below in this video. And yeah, I'd love to like learn more about this interesting place on the internet that I never realized was there. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day slash night slash afternoon, wherever you guys are in the world. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.